I'm getting good airflow. Let me put my mic by it. See if you can hear the drumming. The people want to see it bubble.
People want to see me fall.
I want to see you fall. Not to hurt yourself, though. I want to see you splash. Now that we've got our pond renovated and we've got it stocked with fish, we want to give them the best environment possible so that they grow quickly and they stay healthy. And one of the best ways to do that is to make sure that your pond is properly aerated and there's lots of oxygen for your fish. So to make sure we get this right, we contacted the Pond Guy, which is the storefront of Airmax, and they set us up with an aeration system designed specifically for our pond. We're going to install this aerator today, but it's going to be an unconventional install because our pond is actually 300 feet away from any kind of electrical source. And when I priced running electricity down to the pond, because it's so long and there's such degradation over distance with electricity, just the wire alone was going to be $1,200 to put power down to the pond. So we were probably looking at $2,500 to $3,000 by the time we did labor and bought all the other electrical parts like conduit to get power down there. But after talking with the consultants out at the Pond Guy, they said you can just run an air line, which is much cheaper. So we ran an air line 300 feet down to the pond, and that cost me $199 from Tractor Supply. We had an issue with the air line, but that was all my fault, and we'll show you that right now. So I had that pipe laying in the trench here, the air line, and I forgot about it. And when I came over here to connect this trench, I pulled up to the existing trench and I dropped the trencher, and I was digging and nothing happened, and then I went forward and got another bite and it pulled the hose in and I wrecked a whole bunch of hose. So this is how much hose I lost that was just wrapped around the trencher. It's about 40 feet long, so I'll regain that length that I need with PVC pipe, and it'll be 100% airtight. And keep in mind, this is not a pressurized airline, as far as I'm not trying to get PSI to a nailing gun or anything like that. This is going to the pond aerator. Since this airline was part of a waterline project, what I'm going to do is in this same hole where the water line is, this is where I'm going to put my compressor. So the Pond Guy sends you everything you need. So I've got a valve control box here, and I've just got to dig out a little bit of dirt so that this fits square against the barn. And then this will go down, allow you to work all your air lines and manifolds and everything under that. And my shutoff valve will be under the compressor. Now that's not optimal, but what I didn't want to do was put another box over here, and that's below grade anyway. So we're just going to put it in right there. And by putting the compressor here instead of down at the pond, I not only don't have to run electrical to the pond, I can tie into the electrical into this barn, but there'll be no noise at the pond. The compressor, which is fairly quiet, will be up here, and the only noise you'll hear down there is the air bubbling from the diffusers as it comes up through the water column. Now what I want to do is figure out the best way to mount this manifold assembly. Now this is not a standard part of the aerator kit, because the aerator has two 3/8 inch lines that come out that you can send directly to your diffuser out in your pond bottom. But when you're using a big line like this to go a long distance, you got to have a manifold. And this will be the two inlets from the compressor, and then it'll go out to this 1-inch line and go through that pipe all the way to the pond. And at the other end, there'll be another manifold that will have a 1-inch pipe barb, and it'll have, actually it has 4 outputs, and those go directly to your pond. And I think I can just push it in. Now, if this was in the sun, which is in the shade right now, so it's a little bit cooler, but in the sun, this gets a little bit soft, and it pushes on a lot easier. You want to make sure this is a good connection, because you don't want any air loss. It's a low pressure line, but you still don't want any air loss. You want all that air to go down to the pond, and make sure you put your hose clamp on first, because that would be horrible if you pushed and got that on and you forgot your hose clamp. And you got to be careful with this stuff because it's brittle. You can kink it, and if you kink it, it might leak. I pulled the air line back a little bit and stood it up vertically like that because I want to be able to get these air lines on there and get those hose clamps on there, and also not obstruct being able to get to that valve. So, and I've already test fit the aerator and it'll fit right over top of that, no problem. I'm really liking how that came out. It's nice and packed around here. Everything's nice and stabilized now. I think we can put the compressor over top of this, but first we got to hook up the two air lines. Now the compressor has a 110 electrical cord coming out this side, and it sucks in air from that side. And you can see that this doesn't sit directly on top of that valve box there. It's bigger than that, so it fits over it. And all that does is it just gives you room to bring in your air lines underneath, because otherwise you'd have to have them through the dirt here, and you try to bring them up through this hole. And my electrician will do a good job of putting a grommet through this metal so it doesn't chafe through the wire. This is a filter because it brings in air through here, and this is also an air filter here on the compressor. And this compressor is rebuildable. They've already provided me with a rebuild kit. You just take the heads off of these cylinders and I think put new rings around the pistons and new seals on it. They actually have an electrical box inside of here. Now I think we just hook up our air lines, turn it on, and see if we have air at the other end. So if you weren't using a manifold configuration like I'm doing here, these would be your outputs of your compressor, and they would go directly to your pond, to your weighted line. You just put a barb fitting in there, a coupler, and connect that to the weighted line. And they provide all that stuff in the kit. You don't have to go out and source it. The compressor plugs into here. And there's your on-off switch for the compressor, and then this plugs into a 110 outlet. You can get these in 220 as well, and then they run, I think, a little cooler. But then you got to have 220 service. So you just slip these over these barbs. Now I just got to make sure I don't kink any lines when I put this over there, and I don't think it will. I think it's time to turn this compressor on, see what happens. Turn it on right now. And it won't register really any pressure because there's nothing on the other end of that manifold to stop it. So all it's doing is free flowing air. But we'll leave it on and walk down to the pond, see if we have airflow. Now that is not loud at all, but when we go down to the pond, we like to feed the fish, listen to the purple martins, and just enjoy nature. And even though it's quiet and it's just a low rumble of that compressor, I'm glad we put it up here. So the PVC repair to the air line is right here, and that complete repair is in the water pipe video. But I'm just checking these fittings. I got to pull this whole thing down a little bit to take up some of that slack. I can hear the pulsing of the compressor. I'm just going to hold my hand over it, just see if it'll blow my hand off. It's building up pressure. Yeah. The more I hold it, the more it builds up pressure. Remember, that's 300 feet. And also do that, I felt some debris come out of there. And this is an alternate method of not running your aerator right next to your pond, is get this pipe. And I got this from Tractor Supply. It's real cheap, thin wall irrigation pipe. It's 100 psi, way more than you need for an air line, but it's direct burial, so you don't want it really any thinner than this because you don't want to crush it as you drive over it. But I'm getting good airflow. Let me put my mic by it, see if you can hear the drumming. All right, now I got to figure out where to put the box down here for this manifold. And I dug it out all the way down the pond edge here because I'll put the manifold in, and then I'll run those weighted air lines to the diffusers. But I want it low enough so when we mow over it, we just go right over it. I got the box in, I got the 1-inch line hooked up to the manifold, and the 2 air lines going down there inside of a piece of old conduit that I had. And it's looking pretty good. I've just got a backfill around the box here. It's going to be a little bit high on that side, maybe. I'll try and push it down. And then this will protect those lines as we drive over them with a tractor. And then I'm just going to have to know where this is, because these lines will just barely be underground as they go out into the water. And I got to hook up the diffusers, and then we can watch it bubble. So Deb has volunteered to go down in the pond and put these in there so that you can see them bubble. And I've already built these up, and they come in 1, 2, 3, like 8 different pieces. I wrapped Teflon tape around all the threads. I tightened everything up, and this sits on the bottom of the pond. And I just got to put 2 clamps on here. She's not going to go very far. Eventually they got to go in the middle of the pond. It's just not going to happen right this second. They give you 100 feet of air line, and for my purposes here, I probably could have split one in half, because I don't think, I think one run's going to be about 40 feet and one run be about 60 feet, but I didn't want to have to splice it in the middle. So we'll see how this goes. I might end up cutting off the air lines on the other end, or I might just let the air lines sit in the bottom of the pond. But I've hooked this up to the diffuser. I can feel the air coming out of these 4 chambers, or whatever these things are called. And I got one more to do, and we'll be ready to watch Deb go into the pond with the tadpoles and the fish. And I think they're toad tadpoles, so I don't think our fish really like to eat toad tadpoles, or any fish for that matter, not just ours. It's really coming out a lot out of this one, and not so much out of that one. Yeah, so that one's got a big hole in it. I'm gonna go get some tape and put over that, because when that all comes out of there, it's not pushing through the tiny holes in it. Maybe I dropped it, I don't know. Miss Piney Grove, aka Miss Graceful, is gonna go down this pond bank here. And if she falls on her buttocks and makes a splash, we are not gonna edit it out. And you're not gonna go out far, just go out like knee deep or so. We just wanna see it bubble. The people want to see it bubble.
People want to see me fall.
I want to see you fall. Not to hurt yourself, though. I want to see you splash. You said you wanted to get baptized in your pond.
I do.
But go ahead and guide it all the way down with your hand.
Oh, we just sunk.
Yeah, that's cool. Bubbles are coming up, so it must be upright. We got to get that out in 8 foot. That's good for now. So you can see that silver sleeve has a bunch of holes in it, and that's what diffuses the water, puts a lot of oxygen in it, and then that comes up in a plume to the top.
It drops off right there.
Yeah?
See?
Okay. As long as it's making bubbles, I guess. Yeah. It's a little noisy, but when I put secure this cover on there, I think it's going to quiet down some. And it's not going to run 24/7. We'll run it at night sometimes and in the early morning. We're just going to not run it 24/7. There's no need to. And there you have it, guys. That's the install of the Airmax pond aerator, the 2 diffuser system, and the pond guy will map it out for you. We've got a pretty regular shaped pond with it being rectangular, so it's basically put one on this quadrant and put one in that quadrant. But if you have a pond with a bunch of fingers and stuff like that, they can map it out for you and tell you exactly where to put those diffusers. But as you can see, it's not a bad install. The hardest part is putting the air hose in the ground, but if you have electrical close to your pond, it's a piece of cake. You can probably do it in 30 minutes. But that's going to wrap it up for today's video, folks. We appreciate you watching. Be sure to click that like button, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.